Good afternoon, everybody. 10 years ago, when I joined Nespresso, it was not my first job, unfortunately. I'm getting older. But I discovered a totally new world. A small world, in fact, but a world of passion, committed people, and above all, a human value chain. And the face of this value chain is the face of the coffee farmers. And I was also shocked to see the number of risk, threats they have to deal with every day on a daily basis. And this is why I would like to dedicate this short presentation to all the coffee farmers, because without their passion, their hard work, and their commitment, all of this wouldn't be possible, even today. The good news is the progress that has been made in the last decade or so by the industry collectively to create a more sustainable value chain. And today, I think there is no responsible company without a proper sustainability sourcing program. And also when I'm coming here in events like the specialty coffee, and I saw also this last year in Seattle, everywhere we speak about sustainability. And coffee and sustainability are intrinsically connected. They are not two different things. And this is a very good thing. And this is also why, in a certain way, back to 2003, together with the Rainforest Alliance, Nespresso co-created the AAA Sustainable Quality Program to bring together the highest standard on quality and the best social and environmental criteria. Today, there are 75,000 farmers over 12 countries. It represents 300,000 hectares managed sustainably with the support of around 40 to 50 partners and 330 agronomists. But the harsh reality is that the production of high-quality coffee is under threat. There is a whole range of risk factors, economic, social, environmental, that are putting at risk coffee businesses, but also the life of the farmers. And even if the farms are managed properly, there is all these risks are interconnected. And what is happening is that the youngsters are not interested in becoming coffee farmers. They don't see coffee farming as an interesting, exciting industry with a future. This is why today I would like to share with you 3 challenges and 3 initiatives that I believe in a certain way can contribute to show that coffee farming can be an attractive industry with a future for this next generation of farmers. The first initiative and the first challenge is related to climate change. We see more and more the effect of adverse weather in the coffee farm. We see more drought, more flood. We see the spread of pests and disease, like the example we saw today of the rust in Central America and Colombia. This is endangering the production of quality, is impacting directly the productivity and, of course, the income of the farmers. We believe that there is a solution on that, or at least an initiative that contributes to bring a solution. And it's related, it's not something really new, it's related to forestry and agroforestry, but it's not so easy. And it's not specific of coffee producing country, because I see that it's exactly the case, for example, in agriculture in Europe. We have the heritage of massive deforestation, usage of agrochemical, and we believe that with this way of producing, we are going to reach better productivity, higher income, etc. And we know that this is confronting coffee farming to a threat. And I remember two years ago, I was visiting a project on the field in Nariño in South Colombia, and I met an old coffee farmer. He was 69 years old, and the year before, he lost his entire farm in one night because of heavy rain and landslide. With the agroforestry and with the incentive program today, because at Nespresso we are not expert in climate change or forestry, so we partnered with the Pure Project, and we implemented an extensive agroforestry program in setting, which means planting shade trees within our value chain. We have been planting millions of trees to bring more stability and more resilience to the supply chain. And I think for me, the most remarkable feedback I received from one farmer and his son in Guatemala is that for them, they were so excited by this kind of project because they see their job more meaningful. And I think this is the kind of initiative beyond the benefit that trees are providing, because trees are protecting water, they are protecting the soil, they are protecting biodiversity. They can generate additional income for farmers. Ultimately, they can provide sequestration of carbon, but at the same time, they are bringing meaningfulness to the activity of the coffee farmers. It's a real valuable additional dimension. And one more topic related to tree is that because of the long-term value of tree, it can represent also an option for pension fund. And this lead me to the transition with the second initiative that I want to share with you. In Colombia, questioned our farmers to see, in fact, what they would accept from us as additional support to help them. And they came with something quite surprising, because they came saying that they would like to get the support to have an access to pension fund. The reality in the country, in Colombia, only 7% of the farmers have an access to a saving plan for retirement. So, of course, it's not a kind of topic that you can address alone. And so we engage together with the Colombian government, who are trying to implement a scheme for a few years without being successful. We also partner with Fair Trade and with the CLAC, which is the representation of the farmers on the field for fair trade. And together we have a cooperative. We implemented 2 years ago a pension scheme system where Nespresso has been paying an additional premium on top of the AAA program. And this money is flowing through this new mechanism. Today we have more than 50% of the farmers who are putting additional saving into the scheme. And the Colombian government is matching for 20%. And after 2 years, we have $1.2 million who is representing the saving plan of the future farmers. And this, of course, is one challenging but possible solution to help the farmers who are, most of the time, really old, because they don't have any solution to leave the farm. So they are working hard in the farm until they pass away. And so it's not possible for their son or for their kids to take the farm and to become a coffee farmer. So we believe that with this kind of project at scale, we will give an opportunity to the next generation of potential coffee farmers to take farm and to become coffee producers. The last and third topic I would like to share with you is related to wider economic development and the project we have in South Sudan. I do believe that this project is showing that coffee can create the foundation for economic opportunities for the next generation. You all know, I guess, you all heard about George Clooney as the brand ambassador of the Nespresso brand. But probably what you don't know is that George Clooney is also a member of the Nespresso Sustainability Advisory Board, together with Fair Trade, Rainforest Alliance, or the Fair Labor Association, among others. And back in 2013, George Clooney came during the advisory board and said, you know my commitment in Darfur and my personal involvement to help this country to recover. And I would like to see if it's possible to find a connection between my job with Nespresso and my personal commitment for this country. Even if we knew that it would be a very difficult project because there were and there are many challenges in the country. First, the country is emerging from more than 40 years of civil war. The agronomical expertise was not passed on to the next generation. But at the same time, there are many opportunities in the country. And together with TechnoServe, we started to invest in training in this country, which is the cradle of the Robusta and the Arabica coffee. There are varieties, and specifically the Robusta we are now producing, which is a unique variety, untouched by man in the last 40 years. And there are also some coffee farmers who are producing coffee. So we started to organize and to train the farmers. We implemented a cooperative with 6 central mills, and we started to process the coffee. And we had to went through many challenges. No supply chain. The country was not able to export anything. They didn't have the administrative authorization to export. No road to export the coffee. And we had also to get the support from our partners there on the field to be able to export the coffee to Europe. We had also some difficulties to pay the cooperative at some point because the local bank was going out of cash and we didn't know how to pay the farmers and the cooperative, so we had to find some solution with our suppliers on the field. But finally, we were able, after 5 years, last year, to sell the first South Sudanese coffee in France to the French consumers. It was the first time that the country was exporting something else than oil. And today we have 900 farmers trained, ready to produce coffee, and a quarter of them will produce this year coffee for the first time. So I would like to... Thank you for them. I know that you are not here to watch an Nespresso commercial or a new video of Nespresso, but I decided to show you a movie because it's showing it's giving a comprehensive view of the South Sudanese business case and how, from the support and the request from George Clooney, from his support to bring the communication to the consumers, because it's really important to have consumers recognizing the complexity of what is happening on the field, of course recognizing also the quality of the coffee, and ready to pay a price which is allowing to create enough value so that we can reinvest part of this value into the value chain. So we were discussing this morning about brand content, about storytelling, and about we are building a kind of end-to-end comprehensive business case so that we can create value all along the value chain and create this value. So this is the movie I want to show you now.
In the middle of December, the war started. We left because it was not easy.
This is not an ordinary story about coffee. This is a story set in a country divided by conflict. A country that has so much potential, but continues to be blighted by war. But a story of positive impacts. This is South Sudan. Rich in culture, beauty, and land, it's hard to believe just how much the people have suffered over the last 40 years. But this isn't a country that was always struggling. This is a region with a long and rich history in producing high-quality coffee. The ongoing investments being made here are directed towards setting up a sustainable infrastructure for the first time in more than 30 years. It creates wealth in agriculture and offers a stable livelihood to thousands of farmers and their families.
Nestle Nespresso They help the farmers improve their quality, and this coffee quality will help them to earn a better price.
It's not the only solution, but sustainable coffee development can contribute to a diversified economy, which in turn sets in motion a positive momentum, encouraging a long-term positive impact.
We are joyful that our country is being lifted up.
No, this is not an ordinary story about coffee. This is breathing new life into an industry that was thought to be lost entirely. Together, we can ensure every cup of coffee has a positive effect on the world.
What is important also with coffee compared, for example, with oil in this country, is that the value is benefiting and captured by the coffee grower, and is also benefiting to local community. And when a farmer, for example, is receiving $1, this dollar is going to create $4 or $5 GDP, because it will be used by the local community before leaving the country. And this is why also it's so important to develop this kind of project. Almost 30 years ago, the Brundtland Commission created a report and proposed a definition on sustainable development as the development that meets the need of the present generation, but without compromising the next generation ability to meet their own needs. And 30 years on, in the coffee sector, but also in other industries, we see more and more the significance and the wisdom of intergenerational equity. For those in the room who has, like me, the privilege to be parents, we know that this future is belonging to our children, but the responsibility to create the foundation to make this future possible is belonging to us. And with the few modest examples I showed you today, I think coffee will not save the world, but coffee has the potential in producing countries to create the foundation for a better world for the next generation. Thank you.